the 5th of September 1972. The city of Munich, West Germany, prepares for another day of the Summer Olympic Games. The atmosphere is electric, filled with the promise of international friendship, peace, and the spirit of athletic competition. Athletes from every corner of the globe have descended upon the city, ready to perform on the world's greatest stage. The Olympic Village is a melting pot of cultures, where barriers dissolve and the focus remains solely on human achievement. But as the sun sets and the village falls into a deep, peaceful sleep, a dark shadow begins to loom. Before the first light of dawn breaks the horizon, the silence of the night is shattered by a calculated movement. 8 members of the Palestinian militant group Black September approach the perimeter of the Olympic Village. With precision and intent, they scale the chain-link fence, slipping into the complex under the cover of darkness. They navigate the quiet streets of the village, moving toward the specific housing quarters of the Israeli Olympic team. Armed with assault rifles and grenades, they reach their target, the residence of the Israeli athletes and coaches. The group storms the apartments, catching the occupants completely off guard in the early hours of the morning. The sudden violence erupts, turning a sanctuary of sport into a scene of immediate, terrifying chaos. Within the first few minutes of the breach, 2 Israeli athletes are killed while attempting to resist the intruders. The remaining 9 members of the team are seized, held captive by the militants as the situation escalates rapidly. The attackers issue their demands: the release of Palestinian prisoners currently held in Israeli jails. What was intended to be a celebration of human potential is instantly transformed into a harrowing hostage crisis. The news of the attack spreads like wildfire, shocking the international community and halting the Olympic festivities. Across the globe, millions of people wake up to the horrifying reports coming out of Munich. For the very first time in history, a terrorist attack is broadcast live to a global television audience. The world watches in stunned disbelief as the unfolding drama is beamed directly into their living rooms. ABC Sports, which had sent crews to cover swimming, boxing, and track, finds itself in the middle of a war zone. Journalists and camera operators scramble to document the scene, their footage capturing the raw tension of the standoff. The cameras remain fixed on the building, providing a real-time window into the unfolding tragedy for a captive global audience. Inside the village, the situation remains locked in a dangerous stalemate as authorities attempt to negotiate. Hour after hour passes, with the world holding its breath, hoping for a peaceful resolution to the crisis. The negotiators work tirelessly, attempting to find a way to secure the safety of the 9 remaining hostages. Tension mounts as the deadline for the militants' demands approaches, with no sign of a breakthrough. The eyes of the world remain glued to their screens, witnessing the uncertainty and the fear of the families involved. As night falls again, the situation takes a turn, moving the focus of the crisis to a nearby airbase. The authorities orchestrate a rescue operation, hoping to end the standoff and save the lives of the hostages. The plan is set into motion under the cover of darkness, but the operation quickly encounters severe difficulties. The rescue attempt fails, spiraling into a chaotic firefight on the tarmac of the Fürstenfeldbruck airbase. In the ensuing violence, the hope for a peaceful outcome is completely extinguished in a matter of moments. The tragic result of the failed rescue is the loss of all 9 remaining Israeli hostages. 5 of the terrorists are killed during the exchange, and a West German police officer also loses his life. The sheer scale of the loss is devastating, marking the end of a long and agonizing day of terror. In total, 11 members of the Israeli Olympic team were murdered, a loss that reverberates far beyond the sports world. The massacre leaves the international community in a state of profound shock and mourning. The Olympic Games are temporarily suspended as the world grapples with the magnitude of the atrocity. This event fundamentally changes the nature of Olympic security, leading to a permanent increase in protective measures. The vulnerability of such a high-profile event is exposed, forcing organizers to rethink how they protect athletes. Beyond the Olympics, the attack transforms the way terrorism is reported and consumed by the public. The media landscape is forever altered, as the power of live broadcasting to influence global perception becomes undeniable. It becomes a defining moment of the 20th century, highlighting the intersection of global politics and mass media. The tragedy serves as a grim reminder of how quickly the world can change when violence enters the public sphere. More than 50 years have passed, yet the memory of that day remains etched in the collective consciousness. The story continues to haunt us, serving as a somber reflection on the fragility of peace and human life. We remember the lives lost, not just as athletes, but as individuals whose futures were stolen in Munich. The legacy of the event persists, influencing modern security protocols at every major international gathering. It marked the beginning of a new era, where acts of terror are performed for a global audience. The images from that day serve as a stark warning about the dangers of unchecked extremism. As we look back, we honor the memory of those who were taken, ensuring their story is never forgotten. The lessons learned from this tragedy continue to shape our understanding of security in a connected world. We must remain vigilant, recognizing the importance of unity in the face of those who seek to divide us. The spirit of the Olympics eventually returned, but it was forever marked by the events of September 1972. History teaches us that peace is a fragile state, one that requires constant effort and international cooperation. Thank you for joining us as we reflect on this significant and somber chapter of modern history. If you found this historical account informative, please consider subscribing to our channel for more deep dives. We value your input, so please leave a comment below letting us know what story we should cover next. Your engagement helps us continue to explore and share the important events that have shaped our world.